Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Begin read. Mike. Set up. To you. I'm going back to you.
Play fake. Murray. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Whitney merciless in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray, he'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
95.
Murray with a third and long. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on fourth down to punt this thing. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's pulled in at the 32. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's second and 14. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
third down. Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Returnable for Grant. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Bell. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Watch the slant, watch the slant.
This time Jackson will throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11. Jackson from the shotgun to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Okay, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
After the interception, here's Jackson. His throw incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Flushed out right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally down at the 9-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. Open man there is Malone. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Now the wolf.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. Here we go. Here we go. Hold up.
From the 36, Murray. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. Play action. Now it's Murray. Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Jackson, option right. There he goes, right side. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Lamar Jackson, an even 90 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown of the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Dante Hightower on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the gun on third down, Murray. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Jackson throwing again. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone, but now it'll be third down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the second time. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Murray. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Murray now. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
We got this. 1st and 10. at their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do in Barry now. Standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Ravens on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They fake the handoff. Now Murray finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the gun, Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Get ready. 95 is set.
To throw again on 2nd down, Murray. And this is Moncrief for the catch. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
95 is the same. No, check. He's Mike. Put up.
Murray now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at their 49-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Chubb fights through it. Oh, fighting off the defender. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Let's go.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
And an alley to run. 23 yards the pickup there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Bell. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Again, it's Bell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this, we got this.
red zone now. They'll look to throw. Caught here by Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 3, and it's a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Le'Veon Bell. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They give the Chubb out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. First down, Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And now here is another interception. Picked off down at the 10. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. They got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones.
First down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Throwing is Jackson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one may be his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Murray. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. Now, what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now Bell, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And the kick is no good, but there are flags behind the line. He's going to get bailed out. I think this is going to be a roughing call. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Jaguars 31, Ravens 3.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now this time, Murray to throw it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line.
I got this.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 45-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Man, I got you.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And some space here. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll run on 1st down. Bell. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll go again with Bell. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. This is Bell. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
I'm coming.
Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray, eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
On 2nd and 10. Murray flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney merciless. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
95's a Sam. No, check. He's Mike.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Here we go.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I know he ain't got it.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this will be a win for Jacksonville.
And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, robbed home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on.
So for Jacksonville, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.